Hi, this is Ken. Let me start with a clear conclusion. SpaceX is no longer just a rocket company. It is quietly transforming into a space-based AI infrastructure company. And if you understand this shift, you'll start seeing both SpaceX and Tesla through a completely different long-term investment lens. By the end of this video, you won't just understand the news. You'll understand where the real future value is being built. When most people hear the name SpaceX, they still imagine rockets, launches, or maybe Mars. That image isn't wrong, but it's incomplete. If you calmly line up what SpaceX has been doing recently, something starts to feel off. The integration of XAI, the explosive expansion of Starlink, real commercial adoption in aviation, government, and defense, and now serious discussion around orbital data centers. At first glance, these look like unrelated headlines, but they're not. They're all pointing in the same direction. Here's the core insight. SpaceX is evolving from a transportation company into an infrastructure company, not someday in the future. That evolution has already started. And the key to understanding this shift is AI. Many people explain the XAI integration by saying AI is hot or AI is a growth sector. That explanation completely misses the point. For SpaceX, AI is not the product. AI is part of the infrastructure, and that distinction changes everything. To understand why, we need to ask a deeper question. What does advanced AI actually need? Not just smarter algorithms. It needs massive electrical power, enormous computing resources, and ultra-stable, low-latency communication. This is where the real bottleneck appears. Earth-based data centers are already approaching their limits. Power shortages, cooling costs exploding, land constraints, environmental regulations, and geopolitical friction. Ironically, the more powerful AI becomes, the heavier the burden of running it on Earth. And this is where space stops being science fiction and starts becoming logic. In space, you have near infinite solar energy. You have natural cooling in a vacuum. You have no borders, no land constraints, no local regulations. And most importantly, SpaceX already owns a global communication layer through Starlink. Power, cooling, communication. These are not theoretical advantages, they already exist. Now this is where XAI becomes critical. XAI isn't just another AI startup. It's built around large-scale models that assume enormous compute from day one. By bringing XAI into the SpaceX ecosystem, Elon Musk is answering a very specific question. Where will next-generation AI actually run? The answer is becoming increasingly clear, not only on Earth, but eventually beyond it. And with that understanding, the idea of orbital data centers stops sounding extreme. It starts sounding inevitable. In the next part, we'll look at why this vision is not just theoretical and how Starlink's real-world adoption proves that SpaceX has already crossed the hardest line. We'll also connect this directly to Tesla and why long-term investors should care. Let's continue. Now let's talk about why this vision is not just theoretical, because the hardest part of any infrastructure shift is not the idea, it's proving that it works in the real world. And this is where Starlink becomes the key. Starlink is no longer an experimental service. It's already being used as real infrastructure on ships, in remote regions, by governments and defense organizations, and most importantly, in commercial aviation. One of the most telling examples is United Airlines. United has already equipped more than 300 aircraft with Starlink, and this is expanding rapidly. These are not special demo flights. This is happening on everyday commercial routes, thousands of times per day. Passengers are streaming video, joining video calls, using real-time applications that were previously impossible in the air. But here's the important part. This is not about faster Wi-Fi. What really matters is that Starlink is delivering low latency and high stability in one of the most demanding environments possible. 30,000 feet above the ground, moving at hundreds of miles per hour across continents. If communication works there, it works almost anywhere. That's how you know Starlink is no longer a tech demo, it's infrastructure. And when you see that clearly, the next step becomes obvious. If SpaceX can reliably move data between Earth and orbit, why would computation need to stay on the ground? This is the missing link. Now let's step back and assemble the full picture. Individually, these businesses look separate: rockets, Starlink, AI orbital data centers. But when you stack them together, something very different appears. Rockets are the transportation layer. Starlink is the communication layer. XAI is the intelligence layer. Orbital data centers are the compute layer. Put simply, SpaceX is building a space operating system, a platform where communication, computation, and decision-making happen beyond Earth. This is why I believe the market still misunderstands SpaceX. Most people still think of it as the Mars company, and the reason is simple. SpaceX is private. There's no stock price, no quarterly earnings calls, no familiar valuation metrics, so investors default to outdated mental models. But if SpaceX were public, it wouldn't be compared to aerospace companies. It would be compared to infrastructure giants. And that's a very different conversation. Now, here's where this becomes especially relevant for Tesla investors. When you look at Elon Musk's companies separately, they can seem disconnected. Cars here, rockets there, AI somewhere else. But when you zoom out, the pattern becomes very clear. Energy generation, energy storage, manufacturing at scale, AI, autonomy, infrastructure, they all reinforce each other. Tesla's battery technology, solar, and manufacturing discipline are not side projects. They are foundational, because large-scale AI and space-based infrastructure ultimately depend on energy and production. From a long-term investor perspective, this changes the question entirely. The question is no longer, is this quarter good or bad? The real question is, who is building the platforms that the next decade will run on? And very few companies are even attempting that. So when I look at SpaceX today, I don't see a company trying to leave Earth. I see a company trying to rewrite Earth's infrastructure from orbit. And when you view it that way, the recent moves suddenly make sense. XAI, Starlink expansion, orbital compute, energy investments, they're not random, they're inevitable. For long-term investors, this is not about hype. It's about recognizing structural shifts early before the metrics exist to make them obvious. That's the advantage of thinking long-term. In the next video, I want to go deeper into the foundation of all this. Tesla's 4, 6, 8, 0 batteries, solar, and why energy is the real bottleneck behind AI and autonomy. Because once you understand that layer, Elon Musk's strategy becomes surprisingly consistent. Thanks for watching today. If this perspective helped you see the future a little more clearly, I'd really appreciate your support. And as always, let's keep enjoying life with Tesla and thinking one step ahead. Before we wrap up, let me take a moment to introduce myself. I drive a Tesla Model Y, and at home, I've installed a Tesla Powerwall, so I actually charge my car with solar energy. I truly believe Tesla is shaping the future, and that's why I share the latest news and insights here on this channel. I'm from Japan, but I want to connect with Tesla fans all around the world. That's why I also create an English version of my videos. YouTube now lets you switch the audio into your own language, so you can enjoy it in whatever language you prefer. Most of all, I'd love to connect with Tesla fans everywhere so we can support Tesla together. I also share updates on X, so feel free to follow me there and let's connect. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.